Hello, everyone. Let everyone get in. I started the stream a little early so everyone can get in and say hello. Amanda says she's back for more. Tonight, Amanda, we're going to get messy, like so messy. It's going to be so much fun. And tonight's project, unlike last night's live over on my channel when we talked about all of the things that I cannot do and keep organized with layouts. Tonight we're just going to make something, which is awesome, and I'm a pro at that. All right, let everybody get in. Everyone say hello, and then let the little delay happen so it tells me you're saying hello and all that. Messy is super fun. I agree, Joanne. Happy Monday to you too. Hi, Karen. Hi, oh, I already said hi to Amanda, but hi, Amanda again. All right. So, yay! So happy to see you tonight. Let's talk about, we're going to start with the product bundle. So tonight's product bundle has this stamp set, which is called Sweet Summer Toppings. We're definitely going to use that again. Hello, Luann. So nice to see you. So we're going to use that stamp set. It includes the banana split chipboard. Now, British Monroe is awesome. They sent me 3 of these banana chipboard sets so that I would have one, like, to show all of you. But I ended up using all 3 of them for our project tonight, so that I could get the card project done in about an hour, because tonight's project is messy and it also uses a bunch of stuff that needs dry time. So imagine there's chipboard all in there. So that's what's in the bundle tonight. Sweet Summer Toppings, banana split chipboard, and the Creative Confections. Now, if you haven't ordered these yet, or if you haven't opened them yet, I'm going to show you what not to do with them. So when I got mine and opened them, for whatever reason, I pulled the top off and I thought, and see, look, there's even like a line, like an etched line here. And you notice how it's like something's there, right? So I assumed that these were like those closed squeeze bottles where you had to take a pair of scissors and clip off the top, right? Yeah, don't do that. You, in fact, do not need to clip off the top. So what I've done is I've thrown, for the time being, a little paintbrush into the top of my caramel confections, because, see, I thought for sure that you had to clip off the end, but you don't. So that is just to keep all the stuff in there from drying out. As soon as this live is over, I have an empty bottle and plans to move all of this into another bottle that I can close. But for tonight's live, I wanted to show you the packaging, and I also wanted to share with you the fact that you do not clip off the top. In my defense, it looks deceiving. Like there's a line there, and you see how it like it looks like you should clip off the top of the bottle. So don't do it. Trust me on this. Hello, Nicole. We are also going to use lots and lots and lots of other messy stuff. So that's in the bundle, the 3 creative confections, the chipboard, and the stamp set. But we're going to use a ton more product tonight. So I'm going to go through the product we're going to use really quick. And in the description box, you'll find a direct link just to the bundle, but you will also find a link to the shop, so that if you want to purchase any of the like extra goodies that I'm going to use tonight, if you don't have them already, anything like that. So from the shop, we are going to use white gesso. Oh, you know what, Nicole? Nicole said she's sorry she's late. She was having fun playing with the new iOS 26. So I did not update my phone yet. I intentionally was waiting until the live tonight was over before I update it so that if there's any hiccups, the hiccups happen after I do tonight's live. So extra products. We are going to use white gesso. We're going to use embossing ink in clear. We're going to use embossing powder in sterling. We're going to use all three of the colors of whipped honey. So that is amber, tupelo, and clover. We're going to use card bases. We're going to use Perfect Blend cardstock. And then from my non-Brutus Monroe stash, we're going to use a green alcohol marker and 2 inks, one in a lovely Prom Queen, which is like a pink color, and one in Weeping Willow, which is a deep dark brown. So that's all the supplies you're going to need. So if you're going to recreate this card, if you're replaying this, rewatching it, you want to recreate our cards for tonight, there is all of the supplies that you need. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take my Perfect Blend cardstock and I'm going to cut this to 4 by 5 1/4. We're going to do a ton of stamping on this card. Now, if you are going to work along at home and you're not going to have anything pre-dried or pre-cut, so you're just going to go ahead and kind of start right at the beginning, what you want to do is you want to pull out the chipboard pieces. So we're going to use a dish. We're going to use the banana. We're going to use the ice cream cones. We're going to use the spoons, the toppings for the ice cream scoops, a cherry, and a strawberry. Those are the pieces from the chipboard that we're going to use on tonight's project. So before you do all the stamping that I'm about to do, get those chipboard pieces and coat them with gesso. They will dry pretty fast. In the time it will take us to complete our card panel, these will be dry. So the your plan of attack for this card is first gesso the chipboard. I've already gessoed them and dried them. So by the magic of TV, they're already dry. Set them aside to dry and then come back to this card panel. And we are going to create our own pattern paper. Oh, I love the idea of pumpkin pie essential oil. That sounds fabulous. So since I'm going to stamp, actually, now that I'm thinking about this, I'm going to pull my stick and stamp mat out because I'm going to stamp off the edges of this card panel. And I don't want to stamp onto my, I don't want to stamp on the sticky part of my stick and stamp mat. And this piece here is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it is smaller or larger. The opening is larger than my cardstock. Quiet, quiet. I have the old dog in here with me tonight. The one that likes to bark and give me attitude. If he continues to bark and give me attitude, we are going to kick him out. Because I'm not dealing with that. All right, so his name is Cooper. He's older than the hills. He's mostly blind. And there are kids playing out on my street. So we have to bark at them, of course, because they're making noise, but he can't see them. So this stamp set, the Sweet Summer Toppings stamp set, it has sprinkles, a strawberry, a scoop of ice cream, a cherry. I don't know what those are. Anyone have any ideas what those are? Let me know in the comments if you know what those are. And these two. Any idea what those are? I don't know. And then there's 3 little stamps up here, a heart and a star and a little like sprinkle, like an individual sprinkle. So we are going to use the clump of sprinkles, the cherry, and the strawberry tonight. And we're going to use these 3 stamps. And basically, what we are going to do is we are going to make our own pattern paper. So we're going to take our 2 ink colors and our ink our stamps. Now, I say this all the time on my personal channel. A Misty is not just for the door. The door is nice. The door is fabulous. But the nice thing about a Misty is that it gives you the perfect like stamping pressure part, right? And if you have like a little mat on it, it will hold your paper into place. And I oftentimes, when I'm creating a pattern paper from scratch, where I'm going to be like, switching out stamps, switching out ink colors a lot, I tend to go ahead and grab a trusty acrylic block, use the bottom part of my Misty, just leave the door open, and use an acrylic block. In this particular case, it's going to be awesome and work great because we are creating a background. So even if you are the worst stamper alive, you don't have to stamp perfectly to create this background. And if you do think you're the worst stamper alive, I'm going to show you some tips and tricks to help you out with that. Okay, so I'm a foam girl. I like my foam pads. I like them for this very reason. You just tap, 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 and you've got tons of ink, right? Okay, so we're going to go off the page. We're going to start over here. We're going to stamp ourselves all the way across. So trick number 1, let the stamp and the ink come in contact with your paper for longer than 2 seconds. Okay? Trick number 1. Don't be in a hurry. Okay? We don't want to go boom, boom, done. No. Let your stamp and the ink come in full contact with your paper. The paper wants to suck up the ink. The stamp does not, but you have to give it a little time to allow it to do that. Okay? Now, I know I'm going to put a huge mixed media piece onto this area, right? I know I'm putting that huge, we're going to put that whole banana split together. So what I don't need is, I don't need a lot in this middle. The nice part is that I have already put one of these together. So I know exactly where I need to put all these images, so that I know exactly where they need to go, so that when you're all done, it'll look like this is a complete pattern paper all the way around and underneath the banana split. But if you were doing this from the beginning, so if you didn't have like an example piece to follow, I would probably go ahead and just stamp the whole background. Luann said nuts. Well, maybe they're nuts. They look like weird. They're strange looking. Like, see, like, look at this one. It has like little leaves or something on it, but then it's two-tone. But that one could be nuts, maybe. Amanda. Other than date stamps, correct, Amanda, correct. I'm great at stamping, as long as it's not date stamps. I can't even argue with her because she's so accurate. Okay. So there's the strawberries that we need. Set this off to the side. We'll go to our cherries. The cherries are also going to get the pink ink. We won't discuss the date stamps, Amanda. We're not going there. Oh, actually, okay, so we will go there just a tiny little bit because you know what I did today? I spent a solid an hour dating layouts. Yes, I did. I was so proud of me. Ink. And I think that's all the cherries we need. And that is everything we're going to do with the pink. And then we're going to come in with the brown. Now I am going to use the door for my sentiment because I'm not good at things being straight or eyeballing them, and I might get my fuzzy head in the middle here, but we're going to try our best. We're going to go ahead and there we go. Plus, this is the sentiment of our card, and we absolutely do want our sentiment to be very crisp, stamped very crisp, and very, very readable. So we'll switch to the door so we can get a really good impression. And then we'll clean up. Go. Amanda said she's proud of me. Thanks, Amanda. I did bunches, oodles of them. I was pretty proud of me too. See how far we get tomorrow. So now we're going to use our sprinkles. I forgot what these were called for a second. And the trick to using a stamp set like this that has all these teeny tiny little pieces is to rotate. Get as close as you can and rotate. And then you'll be able it'll look like sprinkles instead of the same pattern of sprinkles stamped over and over and over and over again. Hope that makes sense. So just take your stamp and rotate it. And again, the other thing I'll tell you is let your ink sit on your paper. You don't want to go too fast. So how is everyone doing tonight? Is it fall where you are yet? It is not fall here. I mean, it's not summer anymore, but we're getting there. right outside. So I live in a valley. So when I look out my upstairs windows, I have a big mountain this way and a big mountain this way that I can look out my windows and look at. And I gauge how fall it is by how many of the leaves on those mountains have turned color. And we're definitely getting there. Like, I feel like we're doing pretty good. So I don't think we have too far to go. It's not like it'll be another week or two before we have good fall color, and it's like mid 70s now. So that's nice. And this coming weekend is Bacon Fest, which is a thing in our town. And my family and I go every year since it started. And it's so fabulous. It's our favorite fall time thing. And that is this coming weekend. So I guess fall is here, as much as I don't want to say that. Oh, Nicole said it's still 90s where she is. That makes sense that it would be. I mean, I think it just depends on where you are. And some places don't even get like full fall like I get fall. So that's right. Ah, perfect. All right. So if you were doing another type of, if you weren't going to cover this all with chipboard, you could continue and fill this whole thing in with pattern. We're going to just do this part. I'm going to clean up my stamps here. You could also, if you like to color, I feel like this stamp set is just a gorgeous coloring opportunity. I really want to do the other sentiment on this stamp set is you're the cherry on top, and then there's the cherry. I really want to do like a clean and simple card just with those two, just with the little, like the cherry and the little cherry on top thing. We might do that for a reel. This week or next week, because I really want to do that. It's on my list of cool projects to try. All right, the last thing we're going to do to our card is we're going to add some little accents with our strawberry jam and hot fudge creative confection. So we're just going to use these two colors, and we're just going to dot a little bit around. I'm going to show you how to do that. So the first thing you're going to need to do is grab a piece of scratch paper. Hi, Margie. So nice to see you. Nicole says the nighttime gets cooler on the nights. She's not hot flashing. Girl, I so understand that. I hear you. Amanda says it's beautiful where she is. But she's been to getting a temporary crown, the flu, and COVID shot. Oh, fabulous. Hi, Margie. Ah, that makes sense. I've been to Dallas, Texas. Okay, so I am just going to go here and I'm going to make sure that this medium is freely flowing. That's what you need. Because we're just going to do like teeny tiny little dots of it, right? And this stuff dots like really nicely. Like it just does its thing. And I love that. It will just dry in these little dots, which is so cool. So I'm going to just take the strawberry and I'm going to take the hot chocolate, the hot fudge one. I'm going to do the same thing with the hot fudge. Get it flowing really good down into the tip of the little applicator. And then you can just dot it and it will dry and look a little bit like enamel dots, sort of. A little bit more translucent, but still. Okay. So I'll hold that up and then I'm going to set this aside to dry. And this actually should dry by the time we get finished with our live. And then we can put everything together. This medium is like a thinner medium. It's not super thick. So I do want to make sure I'm just moving it over to a place where it will lay flat. Because if I put it anywhere where it's going to be on an angle, you know, going up or down, then the possibility exists that we'll have runs and drips instead of dots. And we just want dots. Set that aside. So now we get to play with all of these pieces. So I'm going to start with the cherry and the strawberry. I'm going to grab an alcohol marker. And this is just a green alcohol marker. There is no need for this to be anything, any special. I think an alcohol marker will work the best for this particular technique. Also, in case this is something you didn't know, could you gesso any chipboard from Brutus Monroe and then color it with an alcohol marker however you want? Why, yes. Yes, you can. So if you need another fun thing to do with your chipboard, there is another fun thing to do. You can gesso it and then color it. So now I'm going to do, first of all, we're going to get another piece of scratch paper. I'm going to put my cherry and my strawberry on top of the scratch paper. I'm going to take that strawberry jam Creative Confections, and I've already gotten it good and running because I did that for the little dots. And I'm going to fill in, almost like coloring, just going to fill in the entirety of the cherry. No air bubbles. That's the only thing you got to watch for is air bubbles. 1 second. If you get an air bubble, like I just did, all you need to do is get a pin or my personal favorite, a stabby tool. And you can just pop the little air bubble. So we're going to coat the cherry. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to go ahead and coat the strawberry. And then since we started on the elements that are getting the Creative Confections, the other things that are getting the Creative Confections are the 3 tops of the sundaes. So one is going to be strawberry topping, one is going to be hot fudge, and one is going to be caramel. I'm going to do this. I'm putting these on scratch paper and then letting them air dry. If you happen to do this and this happened to me both times, so it's bound to happen. So I would just grab a pair of scissors and cut around. Because the creative confections, you can cut it with scissors. Like, you can just cut it. It's pretty awesome like that. So it's not going to be like horribly stuck. So there's the hot chocolate. Gremlins on YouTube tonight. Thanks for letting me know, Nicole. If you missed something because I cut out and you need to know information, just leave a comment and I will do my best to back up a little bit. We have had, I think, like 2 or 3 really, really good lives where nothing has cut out and we've been great. So I feel like we're due for the Gremlins visit. So there are all of the toppings, and the strawberry and the cherry. So that is the size dry. Then the next thing we're going to do is some heat embossing. So we're going to do the candy, or candy, our little banana split dish, and the spoon. These are extras and they're not in my in with the rest of the pieces. I'm going to get my heat tool and my little piece of printer paper to hold on to. We're going to go ahead and heat emboss the spoon and the banana split dish so that it looks like a silver spoon in a silver dish. So have the gremlins disappeared? I'm counting on you guys to let me know if the gremlins disappear or not. I don't think I have Penny tonight. Nope. So it's just me. Okay. Keep an eye on that. It's not telling me I need to reconnect. It's not giving me a hard time. I think we're good. So we're going to go ahead and use our... I'm making sure I have the grubby embossing ink and not the pristine embossing ink. Because right now they kind of both look super similar. So this is the grubby embossing ink. I want to get a good, like a nice layer of embossing ink on this because I don't want to do this a bunch of times. I really like to just coat it once every time when I do my sample one. I like to put it once every time. Wait. So if you follow Bruce Monroe on Instagram, when my live is over, go over to their Instagram page and take a look at all of the cardstocks that they're releasing tomorrow. And then you can guess how the names of each of the cardstocks are. There's these little riddles. So cute. There's little riddles. No, you can guess the names of the cardstock. Well, it can cut out now because I'm just going to make a bunch of noise and help this box. And I'm going to do the same thing with the little spoon. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, if I cut out a lot, when the live is over, YouTube will download the live to the channel, and they're not going to download it with all the funky pieces. They download it like it's just a video. So it's downloading like all of the recording. And then if I'm cutting in and out on the live while it's streaming, in the replay, I am not cutting out. So I'm pretty sure that that is the case. I would just like to know why, because Amanda, I was live on my channel all for an hour plus last night, and no one said anything. So now I'm curious as to where these friends are. Are they YouTube or is it something in somewhere else? Okay. So that's the first bits. We have our candy, our banana split sundae dish. We have our spoon. And by the magic of TV, we have dry sundae toppings. We just have to add the green to them. So this is what they look like when they're all dry. And we just have to add. So you can add the alcohol marker to them before or after you put the Creative Confections onto them. And either way, it will work just fine. So we'll put that aside. And then we'll take the next part, which is our banana and our ice creams. The messiest part for last. So for our ice creams, we are going to use the whipped honey. Because when whipped honey dries, it looks like honey. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. I adore it. But it also kind of looks like ice cream and bananas. So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to use Tupelo is going to be our banana color. And we're going to put this on these chipboard pieces just like we frost a cake. And it's going to get messy. And by all means, use your fingers if you need to. So we're just going to ever so carefully. I love this because when it dries, you'll see in a second. Ah, see, I told you we were going to be messy. When it dries like, look at that, right? And it has like all the texture stuff going on, so it's not super smooth. That's so good for us because when was the last time you ever ate a banana and it did not have any texture to it? When was the last time that you ate ice cream, hard ice cream, and it had no texture? So these are going to look like so yummy. And it looks so good when they're all dry. So there's our banana. And I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to wipe my finger across the back so that we don't get any that sticks. So I'm going to set this right over there with the double dry strawberry and cherry. So we have nice edges this way. Just use your fingers, guys. It's all good. So we're going to set that piece aside. I'm going to wipe my fingers off. And then I have my stencil tray right off to the side here where my palette knife can dry. So that's the two below. And then the other two colors. Uh-oh. How's it doing? How are we doing on the cutting out, guys? Because I haven't seen any comments. Is it like super bad? So four, it does not say it's reconnecting. It doesn't say it's offline at all. So hopefully we're all good. So this is the clover, which is the exact color, shockingly, of vanilla ice cream. And I'm going to do just the middle scoop. And I'm putting I put a nice layer of this on because I really wanted it to look like a big scoop of ice cream. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of get this all into place. I want all of this gorgeous like texture. So there's our vanilla ice cream. And then this is actually pretty amazingly awesome because the last little with tiny color, which is amber, it legitimately looks like chocolate ice cream. So I think and you'll see when it's all done, like how awesome is this. So we're going to go ahead and do the 2 scoops on either side. Try to give this a really nice coat all the way around to the edges. And I'm going to get my fingers messy again. So that I can do the third one. There we go. So doesn't it, even before it dries, it looks like ice cream. So all 3 of the wood pennies are available in the shop. Was last time I checked. White chess is available. All the products. They're not part of the bundle, but they're available in the shop. So there is our ice cream. That's wet. Hold on, we have to. I'm going to set that over so that it can dry overnight. And this is one of those projects that you do right before bed. And then you go to sleep for 8 hours. And when you wake up in the morning, It is magically dry and ready for you to use. So here is our, through the magic of TV, here is our finished banana and our finished ice cream. And now we can grab our card front and we can put the banana split all together. So I'm going to use my wet glue to do this. Oh, no one's commenting. Oh, no. Could someone comment and just let me know you guys are all okay? Everybody's there. I'm totally on my own tonight. I don't have Penny letting me know I'm good. All right. So I'm going to put my spoon here and kind of overlap it. So that's kind of laying to the side of my dessert dish. Then I'm going to put just a wee little glue piece right here. And I'm going to add my banana. And it lines up right with the edge of the dish. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the toppings to the ice cream. And they fit right over. And the other really cool thing is because the Creative Confections, I am going to hold this for a minute or two for a second and let it, yay, thanks. Thanks, Amanda. You're keeping me from panicking. I appreciate it. So this is the caramel one. I'm giving this a good press. Like I want to make sure that my wet glue sticks really well to the whipped honey. But the whipped honey dries like on that. And the Creative Confections dry as glossy. So our finished scoops of ice cream look all that more realistic because you've got the matte and then the glossy. So I'm using a lot of glue because we are gluing. When you glue the toppings to the ice cream, you've really got to give it a good press down, give it a minute to set, and use a glue that you're not going to see. Like my glue dries completely matte clear. So if it smooches out the end, it's not going to hurt anything. You're not going to ever see it when it dries. So look at that. Look how cool that is. Where it's like the one part dries matte, and then the toppings dry with gloss on them. Oh, okay, thanks for telling me that, Amanda. I'm sorry that there are problems. I mean, literally, there's nothing I can do about it. Still sorry there are gremlins. So on to the card front. We're gonna start with the big piece. We're gonna put that towards the bottom. And when you have a card panel that is 4 by 5.25, this is going to fit, this whole banana split is going to fit onto that card perfectly. It'll take out the entire front of your card with just a little bit on my little cherry over here. So the next thing that you really want to do with this is you want to put something heavy on top of it so that all of this glue dries and so that the chipboard so that the chipboard doesn't try to pop up a little bit. The reason it's going to do that is because we have put a ton of water on it. It is our fault. We have manipulated the chipboard. So it's not going to be super happy with us. It'll do what it needs to do. Don't worry about that. But if everything is dry, if you wanted to put it, like if you want it to be completely flat, you definitely will need to put it under like a book or something. So the little droplets here are like about half dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just set this off to the side so that it can dry till the morning. But that's okay because I can show you the finished card. Because I have no one. So we are all good. Oh, I'm telling you what. Amanda said she's going to come out with this whole release every Monday night. I'm going to get done with these projects. And then I'm going to go, I need ice cream. And I actually do tend to keep ice cream in my freezer. So that's really a problem. I'm glad the video is good, Amanda. I don't understand what's going on with the sound exactly. That's very, very strange. So here is the finished card. On the card base, everything is dry here. Now, if you look, see how the line is, but just know that it's going to happen. The chipboard is wanting just to lift up so slightly texture and realism, and I think it's really, really, really cute. But that's just because we added so much water to it. I mean, water is it's never any kind of right. So there is the finished card for today. It's so cute. I love it creating it. I love designing it. I love the making of the mouse and playing with all of those fun mixed media products. I think it turned out so sweet. Amanda says the card is adorable. Thank you, Amanda. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful night. I set this up pretty good. I wanted to make sure we could get it done in an hour and that I didn't, and that I got everything done and dried and could show you all my little tips and tricks and fun things. So we made it. All right, everyone have a wonderful, wonderful evening. If you missed part of the video because of the gremlins, I'm pretty sure, like I said, that if you watch, like if you go back and watch the replay, it should be totally fine. Because of the way that YouTube does their replays, I'm pretty sure, like even if the streaming got choppy, the replay will be crisp and clear for you. All right, have a wonderful evening, everyone, and I will see you again very, very soon. Bye.